What's up, guys? It's Brandon Flash. Today, you're joining me in Fort Mill, South Carolina. We're charging up my Model Y all-wheel drive with the 4680 battery pack, 2023 model year, to 100%, and we're going to be running it all the way down to 0% at 70 miles per hour. As I mentioned, we're going to be doing the 70 mile per hour range test today. Let me show you the configuration of this car, and then we'll get right into the testing, and I'll also go over the testing procedure. So as I mentioned, this is my Model Y all-wheel drive. That is the official trim name. That is the 4680 structural battery pack. In my opinion, a car that should have never been sold to the public, but here we are. I own it. I'm getting rid of it, and wanting to do some final testing before it goes away. So I've already done this test once before, actually. I'll link that so you can check it out if you haven't already. And we got, I believe, 229 or 230 miles at 70 miles per hour. I'm now at 35,000 miles on the car. Last time I did it at about 10,000 miles. And I'm curious to see if there's any degradation. This is a little bit colder weather than the last time we did it, so it's possible that we won't go as far. However, the main point of this test is to see how much energy we can get out of the battery pack. It's less about the miles driven and more about the energy we get out of the battery pack. And doing it at 70 miles per hour is a good way to do that, because that way it's not stressing the battery. And this is a little bit more of a degradation test than it is a true range test. I've set the tire pressures to manufacturer recommended specification of 42 PSI. I have the wheel covers on. These are not the factory wheel covers. However, I've tested them and they're essentially the same as far as efficiency goes. We're gonna be running the climate at about 68 degrees. I like to keep it on a little bit of the cooler side. Spec is 68 to 72 for this test. And we're gonna be running the climate on driver only mode. And then we're just gonna hop on the highway, set it at 70 miles per hour GPS, so probably 71 indicated on the vehicle, and then just do a loop style test down and back. So we're in Fort Mill, South Carolina, outside Charlotte. We'll be heading down to Columbia, South Carolina, and then coming back. We'll probably have to turn around and then go back down a bit again. And I'll give you guys some updates along the way. We're charging up to 100% on a DC fast charger so that the battery is nice and warm. As far as weather goes, it's about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So not super warm, not super cold, very low wind, and relatively sunny. So I think this is going to be a pretty good test. And let me show you inside the car as well. So here we are charging on the version 3 Supercharger. Hop in. Was working on some video editing here while I was waiting. Looks like we're getting towards the top. We're at 99%. We're going to actually go until the contactors click off once charging is complete. 99.6% indicated on the actual BMS. And then I have a little bit of a loop set up here, just kind of messing with the trip, so I have some set points. So we're going to go all the way down to Columbia. We'll go all the way back, and then we'll kind of figure out how far down we need to go again. I'll reset this trip. 70 mph. Just like that, and then I'll reset it right before we go as well, just so that way it's 100%. And then the moment it hits 100% with charge complete, I will shut off climate until we are on the road. Well, we just hit charge complete. We're gonna shut off climate. There we go, climate is off. Battery is toasty 53 degrees Celsius, and climate is not running, so it's estimating 64.5 kilowatt hour, including the buffer, so it looks like about 61.5 usable. So we're gonna definitely run it down here. Fortunately, I don't have a tow truck available or a Cybertruck or something to come rescue me like Kyle does out in Colorado, so I cannot run it all the way until it shuts down, but I will run it as low as reasonable. So let's get on the road and drive 70 miles an hour. I just put it into gear here, so now it's counting. We'll reset that again, and let's get to it. Well, we've just crossed to 75%, or actually crossed from 75 to 74. We've done 52 miles, so we are on track for a little over 200 miles. We'll see how this is going. We are losing a little bit of elevation right now, so we'll have to regain it on the way back. And there you can see kind of where we've driven so far on the Tessie in-car view, which I think is actually super slick. But yeah, I'll see you guys at 50%, or actually when we turn around. Well, we're coming up on our turnaround point, 0.3 miles up ahead. I'm actually using FSD. It's actually working really well on the hurry profile, and because I'm going less than the speed of traffic, so it's actually holding it perfectly steady. So this is on FSD 12.5.6.3. That's a mouthful. But you'll see how well it does here. It's actually really impressive how good FSD has gotten recently. It'll take this whole exit on its own. I'll actually let it get back on the interstate and everything on its own, just to show you guys. For some reason, the attention monitoring has been dropping in and out a bit. Got a red light here, which the car sees there. Should have a green light here in a moment. This is not too high of a trafficked area, but we've driven 72 miles until the turnaround point, so that is using a third of the battery, so times 3, a little over 210-ish miles. And then again, this is just FSD doing its thing. I'm not doing anything. I'll let it get back onto the interstate on its own. And this is probably the first of 3 turnarounds, because we'll go all the way back to where we were, and then we'll probably have to go south again just to put more miles on. I adjusted the route here a little bit, so right now it's showing negative 1% back, but there's also a supercharger a little bit closer than the one that we stopped, or that we started at, so if needed we can end the test there, and that's still pretty representative and still pretty darn close as far as a loop style test goes. Or we can go a little bit below 0, since I have Tesla X running and I can see the actual battery state of charge and energy remaining, so I can be comfortable going a little bit below 0, a mile or 2 if I need to. So we're just waiting for traffic to clear, and then FSD will get us all the way back onto the interstate. There we go, doing a great job. Even taking this curved entrance ramp. I'm curious what you guys think the car will do on this test, so before you watch the rest of it, comment down below with your guess based on the previous performance and based on the degradation. Setting it to 71 max, which is 70 GPS. And then it's accelerating, it's getting over on its own. It is pretty darn impressive how good FSD has gotten lately. It's even keeping distance, it's making all the lane changes to keep speed, so it's actually useful for this, which is nice. And we're just gonna cruise along at 60 miles or 70 miles an hour, and then I'll see you guys back near where we started to then flip around again and continue on. Something I did want to mention is that this car was originally rated for 279 miles EPA rated range, and when we charged to 100% before we started, it indicated 265 miles of EPA rated range. So according to the car and the EPA indicator, 14 miles have been lost as far as EPA rated range, and according to the BMS data, 64.5 kilowatt hour total capacity, including the 3 kilowatt hour buffer, and when it was new it was about 67.5 if I remember correctly, but I showed that in my original video that I linked for you guys. We're just cruising along, 56%, having gone 93 miles and still cranking out the miles. We are at 50% at 105 miles, 31 kilowatt hours driven. 31 kilowatt hours used, now down to 49%, so about 40 miles until we turn around again, and then we'll head south and then head north again. So see you guys when we get to the next turnaround point. But we are exiting, we've driven 143 miles. We'll be flipping around here. Again, still on FSD, 42 kilowatt hours used, and it looks like another 36 miles back to the next turnaround point, so we won't be going as far this time. That was a very late stop. Yeah, it's predicting we'll get back to Carowinds, which is basically the charger. Part of this testing procedure is to not put the charger into the navigation so that it does not precondition. So the battery has cooled off quite a bit, 25 degrees Celsius roughly of coolant temp. And we'll see if we make it back. Otherwise, there are a couple bailout options that are a little bit closer on the return trip, or we'll run it a little bit below zero. We'll kind of just play it by ear and see what makes the most sense. But yeah, I think we're on track for 200-ish miles, a little bit more than that. We'll see what the final result is. Well, I accidentally missed 25%, but we're at 24%. We've gone 159 miles. Looks like we have 20 miles till our turnaround point, and then we'll head back and see where we end up stopping to charge up before I have to go home. We are exiting in Richburg, South Carolina, Great Falls exit, I guess, at 15% state of charge, and we've driven 179 miles so far, and it is saying 36 miles back to where we started. So we're turning around, and then we'll keep heading back. It's not too happy at me. It thinks we'll get there with 1% and was telling me to stay under 65 to make it to my destination. This is a great exit. There's like never traffic here. You just stop, turn left, and then get right back on. So I like this stop for range tests sometimes, or efficiency tests sometimes. And then again, we're still just on FSD. It's doing its thing. It works extremely well, I must say. This kind of reminds me of AP1 or Autopilot 1 on my original Model S. It's to the point that FSD is useful, kind of like AP1. It's not perfect everywhere, but where it works really well. So we're getting back up to 71 indicated, 70 actual, and then we're just going to continue on and drain this puppy down. Well, the car was predicting -2 with about 13 miles out. We're at 3%. We've driven 203 miles, so I changed to the slightly closer Supercharger. Again, not setting the actual Supercharger as the destination so that it doesn't precondition. And then we're going to be arriving there with apparently 0% in 7.3 miles. So looks like we'll be on track for about 210 miles, but I will keep you guys posted. We have 4.7 kilowatt hours left if that wants to focus. There we go. 4.6 kilowatt hours left, which should be pretty easy to go 7 miles. That is including the 2.9 kilowatt hour buffer, so we will definitely be going a little bit below zero here, it seems, but that should be fine. And there we have it. We just crossed from 1% to 0% at 208 miles driven. We still have another 2.3 miles to go to the Supercharger. We're showing 3.1 kilowatt hour remaining in the battery with 4.8% actual battery state of charge. So we are going below zero, another 2 miles to get to the charging station. I don't think we would have made it to the next charging station. That would have been a bit far back to the first one that we started at. So we're just going to keep cruising along, still at 70 miles an hour. And I think we'll be able to hold that until we exit, basically. And then looks like we've got some traffic at the exit up there, unfortunately. So we'll get to the charger. When we get to the charger, we'll plug in, charge up a bit. I'm curious to see how it does without a preconditioned battery at 0%. Well, we're off the exit. I almost missed my exit since I've been so used to FSD taking exits for me. I forgot to pay attention to nav. We're at 0%, 4.1% actual stated charge, 2.6 battery remaining kilowatt hour. And there you can see the battery buffer of 2.9 kilowatt hour. So we are into that buffer, 0.3 kilowatt hour. and it's showing that we'll arrive with negative 1%, which it obviously will not show on the battery gauge, but we will know what we're at because we have Tesla X running. Well, here we have it. We made it to the supercharger. We're at 0%. The since last charge energy screen is showing we've consumed 100% of the battery, 21.1% more than the vehicle estimated vehicle consumption, which doesn't quite add up with these. We would have saved 2% if we stayed below 70 since we were going 71. The uphill and downhill basically canceled itself out. And then climate control, cold weather basically added 6.4% impact. But somehow we used 21.1% more than the vehicle estimation. So that's interesting. We went 210 miles with 290 watt hour per mile as the final efficiency. And there you can see we're down to 2.4 kilowatt hour remaining in the battery with 3.7% as the actual battery state of charge. And those cells are pretty darn low with 2.9 volts as the minimum brick voltage. But some of them are at 3.1, so that's a decent bit of a spread actually in the pack. And 281 volt as the battery pack voltage itself. And then there you can see the temperature is 31-ish degrees Celsius. So the battery is actually reasonably warm. And let me just pull up the trip here. So we'll go to drive. Let me pull it up. So here's today's drive. You can kind of see it'll play through just like that. So that's pretty cool. Tessie is great. If you need a referral, look down below. There you can see 0% or 100% to 0%, 64.5 kilowatt hour according to Tessie, 61 kilowatt hour according to the car. This is maybe accounting for the slight regen and then reuse. Here you can see pretty flat graph. There were just a couple very brief instances of traffic or slowdown or whatever. But I think this is a very representative range test. We went up 76 feet in elevation overall. Range efficiency, so we got 80% of the rated range. Started at 100, went to 0. Pretty linear as you can see, so that's good. Energy, this says 307 watt hour per mile, that says 290, so 64.5 kilowatt hour used. And then there you can see odometer, battery temperature. So it seems to have dipped initially from the supercharging and then kind of rose a little bit. It must have just allowed it to hold temperature. Interior temperature very consistent, and exterior temperature pretty consistent. Went down a little bit as the sun went down. And let me pull up last time's test data. So here was the last time we did it. We used 67.37 kilowatt hour. Again, pretty flat speed. Minus 26 feet. We ended up in a different spot. We used 278 rated range miles last time. But again, 100% to 0%. And then interior temperature was also pretty consistent. It was definitely warmer then, about 76 degrees outside. And I unfortunately don't have battery temperature data from that test. So if we just take the 61 kilowatt hour that we used this time and the 65 kilowatt hour that we used last time on this same test as far as energy used, that puts us at about a 7% degradation in 25,000 miles, which is that, or in 35,000 miles on the odometer, which is pretty not great. Hopefully degradation plateaus. I won't have this car to know how it does long term, but 7% is a bit high for the first 18 months, 35,000 miles. Normally you'd expect to see somewhere in the like 5% range, so that is a bit above average. Curious what you guys have seen, if you've done any sort of testing like this on your Tesla or other EV. If you have, comment down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Definitely check out some of the other tests I'm doing before I get rid of this vehicle. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for watching.